Hi everyone. Today we're going to work on drawing a story, and we're going to draw your story. Now Jacob Lawrence was a storyteller. Each of his paintings told a story. What is your story? You can draw a picture of something you did or something you want to do. You draw a picture of something you enjoy doing, such as sports, art, reading, creating music, doing math, playing, cooking, riding a bike, etc. So I'm going to start my picture with me working in my attic studio. Now you've seen the picture of Jacob Lawrence working in his art studio, and it reminded me of mine because I also have an attic window on each end, and I have a place where I do my artwork up in my attic, and it also is part of my story. So I'm just starting by drawing sort of a little cartoon figure of myself, and so don't worry about it being anything fancy. We're not going to make it look like a photograph today. We're just going to work on drawing a picture. And in my hand, I'm going to be holding a bottle of paint. And think about what you want to be doing in your picture. It could even just be you riding to school on the bus this morning, or when you did come to school, if you were doing remote. It could be a picture of something you did over the summer, or maybe someplace you want to visit. It could be if you play sports, you could draw a picture of you playing your favorite sport. If you like to swim, maybe you can be in the ocean swimming. If you like to play basketball, you could draw a picture of you with a basketball. If you like to play football, you could be in your uniform playing football. Or maybe you want to be a football player when you're older, so you could draw a picture of you as a football player. There is no right or wrong. You are the artist, and this is your story. So we all going to have a different picture because we all have a different story to tell. Now behind my self-portrait here, I am drawing a rectangle, and this represents my window because I also have a window in the attic. And I'm just drawing it's just a basic window. It's in the attic, so it's nothing fancy, just a rectangle with a line going across where you push the window up. And then over on the right hand side, I'm just drawing a desk because I do have a little desk over here, and I have a couple drawers in the desk, and this desk also reminds me of a little bit because I lived in Seattle, Washington, and I had this desk made when I lived in Seattle, Washington. And Jacob Lawrence lived his last few years in Seattle, Washington, because he was an art professor up at the University of Washington. And the painting that you see of him in his studio, that was his attic in Seattle. Now, I'm just going to draw a little vase of flowers on my picture. And I have a picture of flowers that I'm drawing from. So I'm going to draw my vase of flowers. And then in my picture, I'm going to show that I'm starting to paint them in. Okay, so there's my vase of flowers. There's my painting. And I also have the lines coming up here where there's the angle of the walls, and then over here I'm going to draw the wall over here in the background, and I'm going to just draw some lines. And it's just a wood floor I have in my attic, nothing fancy. It's just wide old planks, so I'm just drawing a basic floor, and then I'm going to color it in. So when you go to color it in, you can color it in whatever color you want to. So I think that I'm going to I'll start coloring in my vase of flowers, and maybe I will make my flowers pink, but you can design your picture however you want to and put whatever color you want into. But I'm going to make the flowers over here pink too, because this is what I'm trying to paint in my picture here. I'm just doing a still life of flowers, and maybe I'll go with orange, or maybe a green base. Now I'm not going to take the time to color in the whole picture because I think you get the idea, and I do have a slightly finished one I'll show you, but I just want to show you how I got started. And I'm going to also color in my desk, and I'm kind of treating my picture sort of like a coloring sheet because I already drew it, and you're just coloring in the sections. So you can use your markers, your crayons would work well for this, just like a coloring book. And my wooden easel is here that my picture's up on. My painting's propped up on that as I paint it. And then in my picture, I like purple, so I'm gonna make my shirt purple. But depending on what you're doing in your picture, you can color yours in your favorite colors, or if you have a favorite team, you can color it in the favorite team. If you want to put a heart on your shirt, it's up to you. There's no right or wrong, because everyone has their own story. Okay, so there is nothing that you can do wrong, because we all have our own story. And I'm just gonna use some blue. This will be like blue jeans. Now I made another picture that's similar to this to show you, and the picture that I'm going to show you, I'm wearing my mask, because when I look at this 10 years from now, I can look back at my picture and remember the time in my life when I did it, because I have my mask on, and the mask tells, even though we don't like wearing them, it still tells a story. It tells us of what life was like during the pandemic. And during this time, my office is also in my attic. So some days when you see me on Zoom, I'm working from my attic. And if there were other people around, I would have to wear a mask, especially if I'm at school. Okay, so here's just a quick little cartoon style of me in my attic space. And then down here, this is a more finished one. And it shows, this one I used red flowers. You can see I'm working on my painting. I have red paint in my hand, and I'm wearing a mask, okay, because that represents the COVID-19 and the time period for 2020. Okay, so you decide in your story what you want to be doing. You could be riding the school bus, you could be at the beach, you could be helping somebody, you could be with your family, you could include a friend in your picture, maybe you're on your bicycle, maybe you're playing with your favorite toy. Okay, there is no right or wrong. You could also be your own superhero. Okay, so you're the artist and you decide what you want to be doing for your picture. Have fun.